Hi, and thanks for joining. It's Patty from pspapercrafts. Welcome to another Friday Fun Fold. Today we are making a squeeze box fun fold card. This was something new to me. So when you open it up, it goes like this. It looks like an M this way, and this piece holds the two, the front and the back together. So I found this on Susan Campfield's blog. And she's amazing. She's always creating new ones. I don't know that she created this, though, because she thanked someone else who made it in a bigger size, and she adjusted the measurements. So I copied Susan's measurements. I did it a little bit different than she did. This piece she had as two separate pieces, which I have, but I attached them to a piece of cardstock. She attached them to each other to make the front. So it's a little bit different. You know, everybody does things a little different, but I thought it was really cute. And what she was saying, it's like couldn't think of the word. So what she was saying is it's like an accordion, which they call a squeeze box. So when you open it and close it. So I thought that was a cute name for it. I don't know if she named it, not sure. But anyway, she's really amazing, and I get some good ideas from her. And I love how this turned out. I'm using cloud cover, which is just a beautiful color. And I'm using the beautiful Gallery Designer Series paper. And this paper just has really beautiful pictures, so that's where this came from. So there's just all these great pictures you can use. And I'm looking for this one. I don't see it. It's in there somewhere. And then I used on the inside, this is in here as well. And then I embossed with the damask designs these pieces. So I thought it all kind of flowed nicely and just really pretty. I die cut these floral pieces from the Gallery Blooms dies. And I'll have a project sheet with all the measurements. There's lots of pieces here, but it'll also have the products I use, so you don't have to worry about that. I used the right words for the happy birthday, and I just love this. To someone worth celebrating every single day. So I did that in cloud cover, and I just think it's really pretty. It could be a masculine card. I think that would work with this outside. So we're going to use, of course, completely different paper, and I'm going to use the same stamp set, but we're going to use a different embossing folder. I am using, and it's kind of messy, so bear with me because I've used it a lot. This is the Wildflower Birthday Designer Series paper, and it has lots of papers, which we're going to use, and then it has these, and it has die cuts, it has all kinds of stuff. So I've used it, it's well loved. I have to use this on something. We're going to use this cake. So it's kind of a mess, but we are using some of the papers from here and the die cuts. So let's get started. I have all my pieces prepared somewhat, and again, don't worry about sizes. I'll mention them here, but you can if you look in the description, there's a bunch of links if you keep looking, and there's a link for a project sheet, and you can get that there, or you can go to my blog and there'll be a button for the project sheet, and that's pspapercrafts.com. Okay, so let's get started. I'm using soft seafoam, and these are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So they are, you know, your standard, but there's two of them because we're going to have a front and a back, okay? So we'll put them aside. And then this, I have thick white, basic white cardstock, and this is 4 3/4 this way by 11. So unfortunately, it's a little bit bigger than a half. Usually we do 4 1/4, but this is 4 3/4. And that's going to create this M accordion piece, okay? So let's get that all scored and burnished, okay? So we're going to do the 11 side, and we are going to score it at 2 3/4. So 2 3/4. We're going to use our light gray. We don't want to cut. And then we're going to do 5 1/2. So we move it out to 5 1/2. And we're going to open the arm. Now, if you don't have something that goes past 6, you can just flip it around and do 2 3/4 because both ends are the same. But if you want to keep going, you can do 8 1/4. Okay. And I really like to score them hard. You have to be careful if you're using designer series paper, though. You don't want to cut it. So I'm going to fold this in half. This is the 5 1/2, and we'll get our bone folder and burnish it. And then I like to fold in and then out. I just like to do my first fold on the kind of the valley part of that. Okay, and so I'm going to fold it in and then out. And this is what you want to end up with. An M or a W. But we're going to have it go like this, okay? So that's all our pieces, or our accordion piece. And that's going to go between these two pieces. But let's get our other pieces. And I really went back and forth on what to use for this. I wanted to use this in the front. So we'll take one of these and we're going to put this here. And I was back and forth on what color. I think this must be Pool Party. But this is soft sea foam, and I wanted to use this in the inside. So I went with the soft sea foam. You can go with white. And we're just going to adhere these down right onto this. And this is where Susan, she had them, she didn't have this piece. She just had these pieces go together like this. I just found this to be a little bit easier for me. She had a good tip using a Post-it note, so she had it, you know, she made it very easy. Let's just put this here. So you want it to go right up to the edge. Make sure it's all nice and straight and even. Okay, and then this piece we're going to put right here. Okay, so this piece is 1 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then this piece is 3 by 5 1/2. But again, it'll all be in the project sheet, so you don't have to worry about writing it down. And you can have these go up or down. I kind of want to have them go down. The cake goes up, so maybe we should have them, I feel like it should go down, like this one. I guess it depends on how you look at it, because they are going down. Never mind. Just ignore me. And then this is going to go here. Okay. But on the inside, like the inside of this, so the outside I embossed, same size, but I embossed it with cloud cover. And then on the inside, I put this, and then I have it here. So we're going to do something similar. So this is going to be the inside, and you want to make sure it's the right one, and you're doing it on the right side. Okay, so let's put this down. I love this paper. Haven't used it in a while. It's a great set because it has all those die cuts, so you can pretty much whip a card together very easily. So this is going to go right here along the edge. I want to make sure that I probably should do this with liquid glue. So I want to make sure it's not hanging over. I think we did pretty good with it. And this I'm just going to leave. You can emboss it or do something with it. And then before we put it together, let's decorate this. So this is going to lay like this. So this is the area you want to decorate. And then here, here, and here. And you don't even have to decorate it all. It's up to you. Okay, so I thought I would use, I don't know how this is going to work, but we'll give it a whirl. This, because I'm going to use this cake in the inside, and I wanted to pick up the peach pie. So this is too short. I think I won't be using this. I cut it wrong. So there's 2 of these. I must have done 4. 4 1/2. Needs to be 4 3/4. I've got to do that. I've got to fix that. So this should be 4 3/4. Oh no, it's right. I'm going all the way down. Never mind. Excuse me. So I'm going to put this here, and I cut it from here, and we'll cut this one out because I thought it kind of went with this and it's going to go with the cake. Trying to like be all, you know, coordinated here. So let's put this down. We're going to leave a border around it. That's why I have it shorter. So the directions or the measurements were right. I just had it sitting wrong. And now Susan also made a gift card holder here. So she put like a little slit so you could put a gift card in there. So I thought that was a neat idea as well. So that's going to go like this. And then let's cut this other one, and I am going to emboss. So let's put these aside for now. I'm going to get my trimmer and I'm going to cut this out. I was just looking through it. What colors do I want? You know, it's, and I'm going to cut it right along the edge where it is. And if you look on the trimmer, there's a little line on the side so it can tell you how far. So you can see here, you want to go down to here. Okay, and then we're going to put it this way. And we're going to go from here up. Okay, now we've got to cut it to 1 by 4.5. So I'm going to go 4.5 by 1. And you could put a solid piece of cardstock in there. You don't have to have it all, you know, you can, we are going to emboss, but you can do it however you want. So let's put this on the other side. Right here. So you kind of want to have the border equal all around and try to make it straight. Okay, so now we've got that done. I have 2 pieces. Let me make sure these are going to fit in here that I'm going to emboss. This is basic white, and these pieces are 1.5 by 4.5. 4.5 by 1.5. That's right. Okay, so I thought we would emboss, move this stuff out again, using the Glass and Gardens embossing folder. I love this embossing folder, and you can do this on your mini if you want. It's getting a little bent. And let me get my machine. So these are not 3D embossing folders. If they were 3D embossing folders, you would need to get use this gray plate. But since they're not as thick, we can use our glass plates. We don't want the number 2. Okay, so we're going to use our number 1 platform. We're going to have our cutting plate, and we're going to put these papers. These are the wrong papers. Where did I put them? Over here. There's lots of pieces. We're going to put them over to this side. I don't know if you can see that it's kind of, it gets lighter as you go through, less detailed. So I'm going to line it up against the line on the bottom, try to eyeball it, put it in. So we'll do this twice. Put this down, run it through. And I just think this is really nice. It's from the Celebratory Sips Sweet. So it looks like a glass. And I just really love it. Right? So there's a lot of texture in this card. A lot of different, you know, dots and embossing and all kinds of things. So we want to have it straight. Put it in here. Actually, I'm going to go that way and run it through again. And we're done with the machine. I don't think we need any more. Trying to not make it pop too loud. All right, let's put this aside and open this up. So I did go over here a little bit, but I think that's okay. We'll do it like this. Okay, so now these are going to go right next to here. And I'm going to use liquid glue to get in all those little nooks and crannies. So you'll see I go back and forth between Seal Plus and liquid glue, depending on what it is I'm putting down. And this will fit in here. But I thought that was pretty, right? And then we have 2 pieces of the peach pie. And these are 2.5 by 4.5. And then these white ones are 2 3/4 by, or sorry, 2 3/8 by 4 3/8. So these are going to go in here, and then they're going to sit here. Okay, so let's put these down. I think I'll just use the liquid glue. And actually before, well, this one we'll put down. This one I want to stamp first. So let's do the stamping. So I am going to, on the inside, because you always want to stamp, and I'm using the same sentiment. You always want to stamp before you stick, just in case you make a mistake. So let's get the inside, and then I also have, I thought, a piece for the sentiment. It's here somewhere. I have so many papers. Let me find it. I found it. It's right here. Okay, so let's stamp these 2 things. I'm going to stamp them in peach pie to pick up the peach here. So we're going to do happy birthday on this. And I cut this for both cards using my favorite stylish shapes. So I use this one, the smaller one in here. And let's just stamp the happy birthday right here. And then on this one, we're going to stamp the to someone worth celebrating every single day. And let's do it the right way. Okay, so let's put this away. Then we can put this together. I'm going to use my seal. I just go back and forth. I like to use my seal on white layers because I feel like sometimes you can see the line of the glue. And then this one is coming on this. But it's a very easy card, and I think it's, you know, I think it's really fun. It's kind of, I wouldn't say it's a wow card, but pretty close. Okay, and then we're just going to add these to here. Just like that. And you don't, you know, you could stamp if you had, if you were making a card that you had multiple sentiments, you could do a sentiment on this one as well. I'm going to put the cake on there. All right, so this cake, it just fits. It's a pretty big cake, but isn't that cute? I like it. I like how it came out. And let's just do a little here and here. Put our cake down. So here we go. Now we just want to put it on here. And then this is the back. So what I did was, and I'm going to use the liquid glue on this because I want to make sure it all lines up. So you make sure it's gonna, you're doing it on the right side. So always check before you glue. And so we're gonna put glue here. And then we want to put it down here. We want to center it top to bottom, side to side. Make sure it looks straight. And I would give it a minute just to make sure it's nice and secure. And then we're going to put glue on this side. Getting low on the glue. And then this one we're going to line up. And if you want to decorate this, you can. I did not. You want to just line it up so it's even all the way around. You don't want to have it showing through. And again, just give it like a minute. I'm actually going to put a block on it to hold it down. Put my cap on this, and then we'll put dimensionals on the happy birthday. We're almost done. Oh, look at that. I have something I made a mistake on. I didn't even realize that. I always save my scraps. I use the backs of things. You know, you don't want to waste. Okay, let's see. And then we're going to put this right here. And of course, if you want to put something bigger on here, you can put something here, a circle or something. And then on this one, I used the In Color. These are the In Color flat pearls. And this I'm going to use. This is Timid Tiger, but I think it works. You know, it's an orange, a different shade. So I use the middle size, and I'm just going to put that right here. You can use a pink, you can use a pool party. This almost looks, I think this is pool party. It almost looks to me like mint macaron. Do you remember we used to have that? I love that color. That was one of my favorites, but it retired. So these are the cards, and so you would open it, and then it keeps going. And again, you can put a little slot here and put a gift card, or over here, put money. And then this is this one. And so you open it. Cute, right? So let's see what's on our agenda for next week. I can't believe we're halfway through August. So next week we're going to do a technique. We're going to do emboss resist technique. So come back in a week on the 22nd and you can watch that. If you want to get this calendar, I send it out to those who subscribe to my email list. Each month I come up with a new calendar. It's like an inspiration calendar with ideas. I always do a video on Fridays. I do a sketch Wednesday and Saturday, kind of. I do color combos. You can find the sketches and the color combos on my blog. And I would love for you to play along and post them on my Facebook page. That would be awesome. And then I just have ideas of things for you to make and create. So subscribe to my email list. There's a link below. If you like this, I would love for you to give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. And thanks so much. Have a great week.